And we're going to go ahead.
Please go up into the guys.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay, go to your room. I have to hear this. This is very important.
Good morning.
Oh, you guys get to see how I do going live. They're in a group.
Oh, and I can zoom in on my end too. So if I'm blinder than anyone else, we can zoom in on our end.
So I'm just gonna go live, and then I'm just gonna show how to put in an add more good order, you guys. Looks like I have annotation. This is, what day is today, you guys? Somebody's drawing on the screen. Go live, and then it asked me something. Okay, so we're live now, and we've got Sandy on the line. And I know we have new people on the line, and one of our new programs is called Add More Good, where you not only get the child free age 4 through 18, but also undergraduate and college. So we're gonna go to Juice Plus virtual office to start off today. And sometimes for new people, I like to go to quick links. So I kind of blew up my screen, but now it's also blocking things. I'm having a little hard time. All right, here's quick links. But above it is like, once you get to know the virtual office, there's Juice Plus, Healthy Starts for Families is where you would put in one of those orders, and Tower Garden. But I'm gonna go to quick links so that the new person can see.
They're all upstairs.
You would create or edit website. This is where you could submit a Juice Plus order, a Healthy Starts for Family order, a Tower Garden order. You could add a new representative here. You can have your own personalized research study. This is our corporate newsletter, which is always good. And more things for you to check out. But anyway, to put in—
That's under Healthy Start?
No, that was under quick links. I'm gonna go back so you can see that.
Oh, okay.
Oops, I went to Facebook. What in the world? That is not gonna help me. Okay, now I have 2 of those open too. All right, I'll go to this one. Okay, so quick links is where it was, okay? So you can go from there, or you could go right here, this little middle box, Healthy Starts for Families. Now, just to explain, when you go here, it looks like, oh my gosh, I have a $45 contribution. That contribution goes up like 6 up lines. So a lot of us are helping children get Juice Plus for free. It's a program that helps us and it helps people. So we all contribute to that. It's like a minor amount, and it comes out of your paycheck, so you don't really even notice it. So, and it becomes part of just an investment in your business because everybody likes the free. So we say, yes, I agree. And then this is, I'll say for the child's name, test, and you want to make sure you have a child the right age. So you would fill out the child's first name, last name, date of birth. Okay, you would say, yes, I agree, and that, and then you go to the next screen, and here's where you pick the adult and the child's product. Okay, sometimes people make the mistake of going to the different Juice Plus area, trying to pick the adult product, and then coming here and doing the child's, and then they have 2 orders in the system. This actually covers the adult and the child. So you could do installment, which is what we usually do. And so you pick whether they want to do the duo capsules or chewables, or the trio capsules or chewables, and you pick the child's free. So the new thing is that when you pick what the child's going to have, you can pick vanilla or chocolate shake also, a bag that you'll get free. There's a $5 shipping that is spaced out over 4 installments. So, but if you didn't want that, you would just click capsules, or there's another place for just chewables. But the new incentive is for our people to learn about our shake. So I'm going to just say chocolate. Oops,
so that one comes free just as like a trial for the first setup?
Yeah, so what we usually recommend is the trio for the adult. It's $75 a month. You get a child free. I'm going to pick chewables with a shake, chocolate shake, and I'm going to go next. With that, it's $2.50 for the child. That's for their shipping. And so otherwise it is free, but that's the allowance for the shipping per month. And then here, you can see the child's name is on here. And then you just fill out information about the adult, the billing information. You just click use payment shipping if it is, and then you put in credit card information, and that's it. So, It's not hard. And the other thing for new people, while we're covering this, is to edit your websites. So if you haven't done this, go to Create or Edit My Websites. Make sure you have a good website that has your name.juiceplus.com. So you kind of pass up this information. It should be pre-filled. You go down to my personal website address. Mine is my name.juiceplus.com, which also gives me a towergarden.com. But this is where I want you just to focus right here. This click here will give you a different iteration because the
So update website address.
yeah, the computer generated one will be a / plus sign and some numbers and letters. You want to have a better website, so right there is where you go. So anybody who hasn't done that, there have been people who haven't done it like for months. So go here and click that, and then you'll get a better choice for your website.
And you get to pick that, or it just gives you a better choice without
it'll
numbers?
Give you some ones that are iterations of your name. Like it might say
Okay,
sandypotvin.juiceplus.com, or it might say S, or it might say, just your last name. You'll have to see what it says.
Right. Okay, perfect.
So this is the virtual office, and I want it for everybody. I wanted to show this anyway. Guidelines and agreements. Oops, I clicked too fast. Okay, we just had a revamping of the compensation plan, so I want to make sure you can go here, guidelines and agreements, everyone, and click there. Here's team building guidelines, and you can see what your next promotion is. Okay, here's compensation plan phase 1 and compensation plan phase 2, which starts at QSSC and beyond. I guess the worksheets are not on here. They would be on thefreedomrevolution.com. So if you wanted to look at the compensation plan, which Sandy, just so you know, they just made an express track that anyone who gets to the first promotion, I don't want to go into this too much, but the first promotion, you'll get a $100 bonus instead of $50 if you get your orders in within 10 days for that promotion. So get with us. I know you have Jules, you've got Angie, and I'll be glad to help as much as I can too. But just so any of you know, right when you start, it's a good time to go ahead and put your family's orders in and put your extended family's orders in, and go ahead and get like 1,000 points, it's called, by 10 days, then you get a bigger bonus. And then we go from there, and we repeat that. We actually can tell other friends to do the same. That would be the best idea, to do that. So does that make sense to you guys? And if you're a restart, you don't have the opportunity for a fast or an express track, but you can restart your fast track. So any calendar month, you can do that 1,000 points within 30 days and get to Partner Plus. So the company wants everybody to be successful. I know that was a lot I just shared, but I want to make sure new people know there's a 10-day express track. That's the most important thing, because it's like, share that. So
unfortunately with my internet issues, like I said, I signed up because the biggest thing was the blitz to get, the $50 free, I guess, for the websites. So it was important to, sign myself up. And then my mom had said, well, why don't we sign myself up too? Because she's always been interested. So we did a double sign up with me and her.
Wow.
And then, like I said, I had internet issues. So unfortunately, I don't know I think I probably missed all the different promotions because it's already been, almost 3 months.
Okay. Did you put any orders in?
No, all I did was create the back office.
No,
I haven't even done that. Okay,
so
perfect.
If you signed up and you never put an order in, then there is no first ship date to go by. So once you put the new order in, then there's 10 days to finish the rest of that express.
Oh, perfect. So I'm going to do 1,000 points for sure within this next 10 days of the first order. Okay, perfect.
So 1,000 points is 3 trios and maybe a shake, or an omega, or 4 trios, because the trios pay in full or promo amount is 300. And maybe you want an omega, who knows, but 4 trios is 1,200. And that will help set you up for the very next bonus program. So Sandy, if you want to talk about it more afterwards, or any of you guys want to talk about it, we can. But right now we're going to go to our story and then we'll come back to talking about everything you guys want to talk about. I'm
Thanks.
Sharon. This is Doug. We are your national marketing directors, along with Stacy Turner, and we are happy that you are on here today. And we love hearing from you in the chat. This is really about you and being able to get what you need every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Especially for those people who work, please tell them, come Saturday at 12. We come on here to make sure we're feeding you what you need. We're answering your questions, and it's a place you can bring your new people also. So you never know what's going to happen on the Lunch and Learn, but we're excited every time we come on here. Okay, so we're going to hear from Arlene Joseph, and I love hearing from Arlene. She is like an expert in so many aspects of life. And she is one of our good friends, her and her husband and her kids, and our kids went to school together, and we haven't seen a lot of each other lately, but hopefully she knows the love is there. And we love going out with her and her husband and the kids, you know, just everything. And so anyway, but Arlene was a tough cookie, I have to say. She was a tough cookie. Now, she did approach me, which is funny, about the Tower Garden. We were at the school that both of our kids go to, and she said, "Do you sell that Tower Garden thing or that growing thing?" I forget what she said, something like that. So that began the talking. And then she put me a little through the ringer, but mostly through her husband. So maybe you want to pick up from there, Arlene. But it was fun. It was all in fun and just making sure they understood what this was all about. And I think she's thankful that she's been in this community. So go ahead, Arlene.
Yes, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, you look beautiful.
Okay. Thank you. So thanks for that sweet intro. I'm definitely no expert. I just like to dabble here and there and just all over the place. But that I think comes from my upbringing. I was raised on a Ayurvedic, holistic, whole food, you know, get your nutrients from food type mentality and lifestyle. So for those of you who don't know, Sharon and I are both our kids went to school together, the same school. And so I would always see Sharon running around with us. And, you know, she always did this health and wellness thing. And I had no clue what it is that she did. And so one day we were at my husband and I were at her house, and she introduced us to the Tower Garden. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. But at the time, I grew everything I needed, conventional gardening in my backyard. I wasn't wanting for anything. I naturally have a green thumb. And so the tower was just cool. And so anyway, life went on. I still didn't know anything about Juice Plus at this point. Life went on. Life naturally, you know, I think we all go through this. Life just got busier for us. And so I wasn't tending more to my conventional garden as I used to. And so I started shopping at Whole Foods. And of course, we all know Whole Foods has the most beautiful produce, but it comes at a price. And so at the time, you know, health and wellness is extremely important to me. So, you know, paying the price was not a problem, but it started bothering me when, you know, I would have conversations with friends and I would seriously tell them my grocery bill is the biggest bill in my house. It was more than my mortgage. And so I didn't really think anything of it until friends started saying, what in the world are you eating? That's ridiculous. How could that be? And so I started thinking about it, that is quite an expensive grocery bill. So I ran into Sharon one evening after school, and I've been meaning to call Sharon, and God just has a way of the right place, right time. You know, timing is everything in life. And so I ran into her one day after school, and that evening I happened to have some time, and we were standing there talking for possibly, I don't know, an hour and a half to 2 maybe. And I was like, tell me more about what you do. What is this Tower Garden, blah, blah, blah. So Sharon was so excited, and her excitement got me excited. I still didn't know anything about this business, still didn't know anything about Juice Plus. And then Sharon said to me, well, my friend is speaking tonight at Total Wine. And like I said, timing is everything. That evening, I didn't have to make dinner. Let me backtrack a little. I'm an accountant. I retired from that to stay home and raise my children. And so that evening just happened to be a free evening for me, which was not the norm. And so I said, okay, fine, I'll meet you at Total Wine. I got home and I left this long list of things for my kids to do. Okay, do your homework, do this, do this, do this, blah, blah, blah. And then I left and went to Total Wine, which was so out of the norm for me. I went and met Julie Herbst. She was giving her presentation, and I fell in love with just the presentation, the personality that was in the room, the vibes that was in the room, and just the way Julie was presenting, the excitement from Sharon. And I was like, okay, what is this Juice Plus? So Sharon told me about Juice Plus, but still, I wasn't interested in Juice Plus. I was like, forget, okay, that's fine. That's great. People, who don't eat good, blah, 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 they need Juice Plus. Tell me about the Tower Garden. Of course, Sharon was like, okay, telling me about the Tower Garden, but still trying to interject with Juice Plus. I'm like, yeah, okay, forget it. I don't want to hear about Juice Plus. I want to teach people how to grow. So I really thought I could build my business on selling Tower Gardens. And back then, it wasn't the prominent part of our business. Now it is, thanks to COVID. And so anyway, so I went home. I told my husband about this Tower Garden. I told him about Juice Plus, the business, and tried to do some research on Juice Plus and still wasn't interested. Then I had my husband met Sharon. We talked about Juice Plus, and yes, it took us about a month of drilling Sharon and finding about the business. And I remember my husband saying, oh, the Tower Garden's cool, but we're not eating $10 tomatoes. And so anyway, after a month of, putting Sharon through the ringer, I decided I was going to sign up and be a rep. And so here I am now, a rep for Juice Plus, only interested in the Tower Garden. But Juice Plus only had 3 products at the time, and our Omegas was in the picture at the time. And I said, okay, well, if I'm going to sell this, I need to be a product of the product. And so I did some research about Juice Plus, ordered it, and decided, okay, my husband and my kids needed this, not me. And my husband used to travel a lot at the time, so I thought he needed it as a safety net. He used to take Airborne, which I never approved of, but you know how it is. If the husband wants it, they're going to find a way, they're going to get it, they're going to take it. And my children, who was always raised on our home cooking and, whole food, plant-based, blah, 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 healthy eating, they were at the age now where they were like having sleepovers and just being away from me more, not eating what I'm cooking at home. So this was a way for me to bridge the gap for them. Then, of course, I'm not giving it to them unless I'm going to take it. So I started taking Juice Plus. And at the time, I was suffering from environmental allergies. I would sneeze if it was just too dusty or pollen, blah, blah, blah. I would just sneeze up a storm. And I would take Claritin probably a couple of times a week. And about roughly around 3 weeks after being on Juice Plus, I realized that I didn't need Claritin anymore. And so I started putting 2 and 2 together. So I started doing more research on Juice Plus, and just the science behind it blew me away. And so I guess the long of the short story is I went in through the Tower Garden door. I own 6 Tower Gardens now. I absolutely love them. And you can't take my Juice Plus away from me. My hair, nails, skin, everything I never had problem with, it's just growing faster and stronger. And my kids, it's just, they're college kids. My daughter is graduating now, and my son's going into 3rd year of college. And it's my insurance plan for them. We all know college kids are not, mine, even though I raised them healthy, they're not making the best choices out there. And so for me, it's just peace of mind for me. And then my husband, it's just, he just takes whatever I give him. So he just takes it. He doesn't take Airborne and all that stuff. And I do hear him telling people that, Juice Plus is the way to go. So he's bought into it as well. And so I guess that's the short of a very long story of my Juice Plus.
And what about the business of sharing?
The business of sharing. So the truth is, I honestly did not know what I was getting into. I did not know about this, MLM. I didn't know about this pyramid, that everyone talks about. And it wasn't until after I got into it, then I started looking into it, because, people would ask me, is that one of those MLM, business? And so I would ask Sharon, and she would educate me more on all that. Well, this Sharon, by the way, for those of you who don't know, Sharon Farrar. And so it wasn't until I went to my first conference, which happened to be right here in Orlando, right in our backyard. So the entire family went. We live here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, so it was just a 3-hour drive for us. And so it wasn't until I actually went to conference, then I saw the bigger picture and understood that, you know, this, you can make what you want out of this business. You know, it truly is, you know, you make as much or as little as you want. And so, you know, I love the business. We just bought an air conditioning business. And so, you know, I've taken a slight step back from Juice Plus to help my husband build up this business. And I'm still doing Juice Plus. I put in 3 orders yesterday. Not as much as, you know, I'm not doing it as much or as active because I'm so consumed with the business right now, the air conditioned business right now. But I'm still doing it on the side. I'm still posting whenever I can. And, you know, people are just still coming to me naturally, even though I'm not posting and not sharing as much. So just based on the lifestyle and, you know, how you live and post on social media and what people know of you, they just naturally come to you.
So I definitely have some questions for you, Arlene.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Here comes the tough questions.
No. Well, no, it almost frustrates me because you make it look so easy as far as like getting customers. And so like maybe expand on that a little bit more. Like you said, people are coming to you. Maybe I think people want to know, including myself, how to create a scenario more like that.
The truth is, Doug, and I don't know if guilty is the right word for saying this, but I almost sometimes don't have to work hard at, when I do put my heart and soul into it and work Juice Plus, my paycheck is phenomenal. And when I don't, people just, it's just based on posts that I put on Facebook and people that know me and know what I stand for. Those 3 orders I got yesterday were just, you know, friends that they were just ready to add it to their life. And I have to say, almost every time I put a post out on Facebook, I get at least 1 order. You know, I've had times where I get like 6 orders from 1 post. I've had times where I just get a Tower Garden order. I've had times where I don't get any orders, but for the most part, I put a post on Facebook and I actually do get an order.
Okay, cool. Well, okay, so I mean, I kind of knew the answer to that, but the thing is, and just to clarify with everybody, that we used to say, live the mission, share the journey. And that's one thing. I'm just looking at her social media, and she is very consistent, whether it's salad jars, it's working out, it's a lot of family. I mean, so, I mean, when you see like what Arlene has branded herself with, it's about that. It's about being a family person, relationships, a mom, a wife, but it's consistent with healthy stuff. And it's not like a bunch of capsule pictures all the time.
No,
It's
she
Tower
adds
Gardens,
value
food.
too.
She's adding value. She teaches. And that's interesting you said that every time you post, you get an order, because I feel like I've started to brand myself a little bit with Tower Garden and been more consistent. And I almost feel the same way. I feel like people think that's all I do is Tower Garden. But when I post Tower Garden, I get people calling. But I don't get as consistent because I don't live the mission as much on the Juice Plus side. I mean, I'm in a good place now and I'm working on it. But I think that's one of the keys. Maybe that's something we could discuss.
And she puts herself in the pictures. I think sometimes we might post something, but we're not in the picture. But Arlene does put herself out there and puts herself in the picture too.
Yeah, I think I do have, most of the times I'm in the picture, a lot of times I'm not. But Doug did hit on a point that people who know me well, they know that my Facebook page is true to who I am. I'm all about family. I'm all about health and wellness, and I don't post politics on Facebook. I don't get into anything controversial. It's just not me. And so people know, you know, I'm very religious. I'm very all about family. I'm all about health and wellness. I will, you know, post one-off things every now and then, a funny, a joke, a video. But truly, if you go down my Facebook page, it truly tells a story about who I am.
And you post the flower garden a lot, and sometimes you go live.
Yes. Yeah, so I do that, and so yeah, it's truly it's very transparent, you know, who I am on Facebook. And if I'm missing for a little while, it's because life just really just gets busy, and I just don't, you know, I just don't post just to post, just to keep active on Facebook. And that could be a bad thing as well, because you're supposed to be consistent.
I love this. Sometimes you just share like an herb or a fruit or vegetable that nobody's ever heard of or seen or didn't know what to do with, you know, so and that's because that's how you live too, you know.
Right.
So everybody.
So this morning on the Shred on 2020 group, right before I left the house, I posted a quick video of how I make my shakes sometimes, just to make it a hot chocolate. It wasn't perfect. It truly was not what I had envisioned to post, because I have a lot of ideas, but the truth is I just never get around to them. And so I posted that video this morning. It wasn't what I expected to post or what I had envisioned. And even Kelly Petrohovic told me this morning, she goes, you need to put that on IGTV. I never thought of that, you know, and I told her, I said, it's not what I had envisioned. Should I redo it? And she was like, no, don't redo it. You know, so it truly is. I think I kind of rambled on a bit in the video, but it was real. It was.
People don't mind that. Okay, and I think people loved you so much on our Zoom. Just so you guys know, there's a Zoom on plant-based power that we did, and Arlene spoke on it, and people went hog wild over your conviction about the price of the Tower Garden and how it pays for itself, and you're an accountant and all that. So maybe include that, because now you have 5?
I have 6 towers.
Do you have one indoors or no? Did you ever?
I don't have any indoors,
okay.
no.
That's okay. I just didn't know whether to also refer to that.
How many are you actually running right now, though?
I have 5 running right now.
Wow.
And it's funny because I just cleaned them up last week, and I've been meaning to do a video going live showing them all cleaned up and, you know, new plants, and just haven't had a chance to do it. So
I only have 4 up and running, but it's hard to keep all the holes filled.
Yeah.
You know?
So I purposely don't keep all the holes filled, because I leave room for things that will take over other pods. So mine is a bit more, I wouldn't say strategic, but I have certain things on certain towers, and, you know, lettuce on one, and I leave room for others to grow. You know, like Swiss chard, I know is going to take over like 2 whole sections. So, and then tomatoes will take up quite a bit of room. So I do have 5 up and running. I have an okra plant that I've probably gotten over 100 okras on right now, but it's taken up one of my towers. But, you know, it's just stuff that we use all the time. Yeah. We eat and yeah, I don't use all my pods, to be honest.
That's funny.
That's what I'm slowly moving toward. I have a full lettuce tower, and then I have a baby lettuce tower that I switch them in between as they grow up. Right. And then just getting to the point where we're only growing what we really use, like a ton of basil. I'm getting zucchini going now so I can make zoodles all the time.
So hopefully you guys are learning from just talking to Arlene. You know, she's posting, she's talking to people, especially if they're reaching out to her. And she wasn't interested in Juice Plus, but she became part of the community and she learned about it. I'm remembering something about the shake. Did I give you a bag of shake?
Yes, yeah. So when I first got to, I think the first promotion level in Juice Plus, Sharon brought me a bag of these shakes. So the precursor to that was I've never used a protein powder in my life. I would just make a green smoothie every morning. I was that mom that shoved everything into that green smoothie, and no one complained. They would drink the green smoothie every morning because it was non-negotiable in my house. Then Sharon brought me this shake after I reached that first promotion level. I remember bringing it home, leaving it on the counter going, oh crap, what am I going to do with this now? I'm never going to use it. And so I read the label on the back, and the reason I didn't use protein powders before was because, you know, whatever was on the label, I just wasn't happy putting it in my family's body. And so when I brought the one Sharon gave me, which is the vanilla complete, I read the ingredients on the back, and almost half of it was what I was shoving into the smoothies every morning. And or at some point during the week, because I don't eat the same thing every day. I don't put everything in the smoothie every day. It's just so much more to I guess optimal health than just the same thing every day. And so you know, I'm all about variety. They say eat the rainbow for a reason. And so when I read what was on this, I was like, oh, great. Now this is in this smoothie. I can keep adding other stuff. You know, I can incorporate other stuff. And so that's how I tried our shakes, fell in love with it, and haven't looked back. The only shake powder I've ever used. And we're quite happy with it.
Thank you, Arlene, for sharing today. Hopefully, sorry, there's a lot of noise here. Hopefully everybody could get
Hi,
some.
everybody. I just wanted to say thank you guys so much. I'm new to this information. I had to stop my whole break to get this information. Thank you guys so much, but I'll catch you guys soon.
Oh, we'll talk to you later on Boxer and next time.
Okay,
Thank you.
peace.
Thanks for coming. Awesome. Welcome to the team. Okay, so does anybody have a question for Arlene? And then we want to address Ikena's question over in the chat. Anybody have any questions for Arlene? Anyway, what I was saying.
No, but thank you, Arlene.
Oh, you're welcome. My pleasure.
Sandy's brand new. Any advice for brand new, Sandy? I mean, Arlene?
I would say talk to your leader quite often. I know Sharon and I, like in the beginning, we spoke quite often. Right now, life is just so busy for me. But the key is to be consistent, you know, stay in touch with your upline, copy post, you know, if something resonates with you, or if you think it's just you and you don't have time to recreate your own post, just copy verbiage, you know, copy a post and just post it on Facebook. And my number one thing is just be true to yourself on Facebook. What might work for Sharon might not work for me, and what might work for me might not work for Sharon, but just be very true to who you are on Facebook. And I think my consistency, people who knew me before being on Facebook and have seen me through my time on Facebook, I really haven't changed. I've evolved with time, and I just kept going, but I haven't changed, and I've stayed true to who I really am.
Great, thanks.
You're welcome.
Great advice, Arlene. Okay, so who else? I think Lonnie, you were maybe gonna say something. Lonnie. Not sure. Okay, so can you guys turn your cameras on?
Sharon?
Yes.
I'm driving, so I'd rather not be on Zoom right now, sorry.
Did you have any questions or anything for Arlene?
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
No, I don't, thank you.
All right, so we're gonna move to Ikena's question. There's so much noise here. Ikena is not having great results, but I'm wondering, Ikena, are you talking mostly to cold market people, or are you talking to friends and family?
I've already spoken to friends and family initially, and I didn't get any positive responses from them. I kept pushing it to them, pushing in terms of sending them videos and links, but they didn't really take the information as positively as I would have liked them to. I keep sending links to the videos, telling them my experience, but nothing comes through that way. So that's the strange thing for me. It's usually the same objections. Oh, it's too expensive. I haven't got money for it, which I know those are just the usual responses that loads of other people get. But yeah, that's why I've pretty much just taken the decision to give up on family, unfortunately.
Oh, that's a shame. Okay, so Nalani, what do you think is going on? Because you're his sponsor. What do you think is going on with that?
Okay, so I think that they don't have enough conversation that has nothing to do with Juice Plus, or that they may not be seeing, they may be feeling like this is a sale coming up here, you know, that they feel like they're being sold to. And so that relationship as to those pillars of health, you know, exercising and all the other things that you might be doing, that relationship hasn't been built yet. And time. So that's why we just continue being who you are, speaking like Arlene says, just be your normal self and talk about other things besides that. And when you have that conversation with them, rather than just sending them the email, ask them questions. You know, so when you ask them questions, then they feel like more about them than about them getting something from you. That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, they don't need any more lectures about what they're eating right now, because I always give them lectures about why you're frying your food every morning and all this stuff. I always tell them that all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, if they want to keep eating the way they want to eat, I'm just going to let them do that. That's their business now.
Well, you want to ask questions because people don't want to be lectured to either. They don't want, you know, people like to feel like they're in control, and it helps them to be in control when you're asking them questions and getting their opinions on things and encouraging them to do what they do. I hope that helps. I don't know what else to say.
Anybody else want to address McKenna?
Would it also help to set up more three-way calls with your sponsor, so it's not lectures and information coming from you, but allowing someone else to be that third-party validation?
I would like to say something, because I think it's very common for all of us. I mean, I'm to blame too, is that we take everything very personally, and you have to step away from that. You have to get out of your own way, and you have to learn that you're going to get a lot of rejection. It's just the name of the game. You know, you are going to get a lot of rejection, but you have to learn that people don't want to be sold to. They feel that you're, and especially family members. I mean, I've had everything. I've had, you know, my mom lives in England, and, you know, she says I'm selling snake oil, and, you know, that it's a complete, you know, scam and all this kind of stuff. So I don't even bother approaching any family members. But I think it's very important that you have to continue, because the only way you're going to get to the great people is getting through the bundle that, you know, that are rejecting you. So try not to take it personally, but also learn how to approach people, what to say. And, you know, I think some of the books that we've mentioned in the past are really good. You know, for instance, Eric Worre's book is really good, Go Pro, and then also Go for No. So it's learning that you're going to go for no every day. You're going to get people who are going to say no constantly, but in order to get a yes, you have to get all the no's first.
Yeah, and sometimes people aren't saying no necessarily. They just are not ready to make a decision.
Exactly.
Or something.
That's right.
Or maybe you've said too much, and they don't know what, like, you know, people go into overwhelm and then they go into doing something else, you know, so they might not answer you back. I have a lot of those kind of cold market ones that I just space them out. I don't ever count on them. And I would just encourage you that if you haven't had a friends and family call, or if you haven't had your family come on to Dr. Nalani, and I know you have more friends or family than maybe the initial people that you talk to. For me, my friends did not sign up for Juice Plus in the beginning. And some of my family, only some of my family did. And we didn't really have three-way calls back then, or wellness presentations or anything like that. I love that you were doing the wellness presentations all the time, McKenna. And I think that I've seen you do like an exercise video, stuff like that. If you could start showcasing what you do to be healthy on Facebook, and I haven't been following you lately. I can't hardly follow everybody, or myself even. And so it just kind of being that lighthouse, they say, of health is going to be good. Okay, you've got some people talking to you in the chat. Kristen says, one of the Kristens says, consistently educating indirectly through social media so they don't feel targeted or singled out is important. Michelle says, I like to start the conversation saying they are not obligated to purchase anything, but I know this info will help them. Kristen Basse says, your closest people will oftentimes be your hardest people to get to. That's why you want to include your upline, you know, either Nalani or Doug or me to help with that. And you're getting some names of the books there. That's good. I mean, we needed to talk about that. And so sharing in general should be what you are excited about, some kind of education or event, and then following up. And sometimes for new people, they want to get their upline on the call with the follow-up because they really don't know anything yet. And we want you to be able to go out and share just everything you're excited about without having to feel like you need to know everything, because we have the doctor in our pocket or the athletic trainer, and we have our upline. So use us for that. Okay, who else has some good?
Can I say something?
Yes,
please. Here in my family, they think that well, now she thinks she's a doctor, but I always tell them, no, I'm not a doctor, but I'm learning. I'm going to events, I'm listening to doctors. So what I'm learning, I'm trying to share it with you. You don't have to buy anything, but I'm learning, so I'm just sharing. So that's what I'm telling them.
Yes, I love that.
Can I also add, Sharon? I don't know if Akena, if I'm saying that correctly, pardon me, if you have a story or not, because I truly did not have a story. I don't have a powerful story like most people do. And everyone just knew I was a healthy person before. And so my stories usually, or I guess my story is opposite of everyone else. You know, here's this healthy girl who was raised healthy and blah, 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 blah. And she still found results. And, you know, she still takes Juice Plus. So that's kind of like where my story comes in, that even the healthiest or healthier people still, you know, get results from taking Juice Plus, you know. So if you just keep posting on Facebook, don't let the no's and people's opinion get you down, because everyone's going to have an opinion. And so, you know, you just keep posting and showing them that you're consistent, you believe in your product, and you're in it for the long run. You're not just here just because, you know, everyone's looking for an immune booster right now. And so just keep posting, and you might not get them today, tomorrow, next month, but next year, these will be the same people calling you up. An order that I put in yesterday, this lady was pregnant a couple years ago with her child, and she did not want to get on it, and now she wants to get on it. So it's just a matter of her seeing me being consistent, you know. And of course, I'm not the I told you so type of person. So when you do call me up, I just, you know, I educate you and I keep going. So just keep being consistent with them, and then just move on to other people.
Right. No, I'm not. I'm certainly not going to be giving up anytime soon. I'm just too much of a competitor for me to just give up on this right now. It's just I've been consistently adding 3 people onto the comprehensive list, just like on the GoPro book, and just new people every day, like 10 people onto the list every day, and speaking to 3 people, because I don't want to be having 10 WhatsApp messages coming at me all the time, because it would just be too much for me on Instagram direct messages. So yeah, I'm just doing the same thing, same messages. It's just, I find it very strange. Maybe it's just my generation, but I just find it strange that I send the video link and then I kind of continue the conversation, and then it's just no response. And then I don't want to kind of just say, oh, hello again, did you get my message again? Because then I'll just be bothering them. So that's when I just tend to just put them to the side and just focus on other people. So that's just my attitude towards it. I just find it very strange that I'm just sending information. I'm not really even asking them for any money or anything like that. I'm just saying, hey, look, this is new to me. here you go. That's it.
I think it's
Okay, Ikena, have you, was asked before in the chat, did you get their permission to send it, or did you have a conversation with them first? Oh, they say.
Absolutely. And I'll say, hey, look, you know, I found something new.
Right.
If I send you a quick video link to it, could you have a quick look through this? And then the response is, yeah, why not? Send it through. I send it through. They say, yes, the video was great. It looks good. Is this your business? And I'm like, yes, it is my business. I've been taking a new health step journey, blah, 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 blah. Can I send you another health link? Can I send you another video link? And then it's usually silence.
Well,
that's where it gets really, really strange to me. I'm like, but I'm not sending you anything. It's just a video link.
Okay, so asking a question is good. What did you think of the video?
What did you like best?
Would you like to get started? What did you like best? You know, you don't have to send them another video if they've watched one. You're lucky if they watch one.
Yes.
So I did that yesterday. I said, what did you like best about the video? And that seems to be a better question to ask. What did you like best about it? And then one response I got is, it looks really good, but I'm really, what did she say? I'm staying old school, and I'd rather just eat healthy and just exercise like I have been. Thank you. And then X. So X usually just means end of conversation. Don't bother me again, indirectly. That's basically what it means.
Oh, okay. Well, and that might be true, you know, but you're always probably going to get some kind of objection when you talk about Juice Plus to people, because number one, people think they're healthy. They think they don't even think about eating fruits and vegetables. So it's a lot of educational exposures, and they just don't get it right away. So you just have to be able to say, hey, I understand what you're saying. I try every day to eat lots of fruits and vegetables. So you're saying, I feel the same way. So it's feel, felt, found. I feel the same way. I try to eat, you know, all I can. What I've found, you know, and a lot of people have felt the same way. What they've found through the research is that this is an easy way to make sure that you're getting enough every day. So at least address their objection, you know, by doing the feel, felt, found. And you're going to do fine. This is just all practice for you. And I love your attitude that you're competitive, you know, and you're going to get it. And it's just, you might also be a little more desperate. Hate to say it like that. But when we're new, we're desperate. And when we see these bonuses and it's not working for us and whatever, we're just trying to figure it out. So you're doing the right thing. It's going to come together. And so just keep in touch with us and keep posting really good posts about yourself and your health journey. And that's going to attract people.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so to summarize, for everybody, we want to, as Arlene, we talked about with Arlene first off, is we want to make sure we're using social media to brand ourselves. You are the brand. Like I always say, make sure you're adding new friends on social media, everybody, and building up your friends list so that you have a wider reach with your brand. And then as you reach out to people, I mean, all of us that have been doing this for a while, I mean, we're not, when we hear the story about what you're hearing back, we're like, all right, that's cool. That happens to us too. And you know, we just keep rolling with it. But in the beginning, it feels a little heavier. So don't worry. You're going to get, it's going to work. It's going to work. And even the people that say no and send you an X, that doesn't mean it's X forever. Okay. Sharon got an X from Kelly, and here we are 20 years later, and she's super excited about her Juice Plus products. So 20 years, guys.
There's a lot of people out there. There's a line to infinity.
Right. And then so really that person watched the video, so they're just even more educated now. So as you post on social media, they're going to see it. And maybe 3 months from now, they're like, man, he's still going with this stuff. And man, he's still excited. And
I don't get hung up on cold market people. I add them, and then they sometimes are commenting or watching certain videos or watch parties. I want to give some advice, and maybe we can even have you guys tell us what are some really good social media posts that you've seen So put that in the chat. Maybe Doug and I can share some screens of good social media first posts. I forget who I saw with the family of 4 that posted their Juice Plus the other day. Maybe you guys can remind me, or remind me of any good posts you've seen so we can go there. But what was I going to tell you? Oh, I have a lot of cold market things, but that's not what I was going to tell you. Now I forgot. But let's just go ahead and see some good social media posts. Do you guys have some in mind?
I think. Oh, go ahead.
Whoa, Lonnie's. Lonnie gave us an awesome, awesome text with lots of emojis. All right. Congratulate and compliment them. Awesome. It's not yours. Oh, it's a post. Oh, that's a post.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. But where do you find it? Where can we find that, Lonnie, so we can look at it on Facebook? You guys have a new person that's posted recently and had great results? I know I've seen some. Trying to think. Okay, Kelly Kerr. You can maybe go to her. Didn't she have good results with her Tower Garden post? All right, we're looking some up. You guys can also let us know.
Sharon, can I say one?
I am back. I'm so sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes, now. Yes.
Are you talking to Arlene or me?
Lonnie.
Yes. Okay. So I have been saving. When I go on to social media and I see people's posts that I like, I keep a file of them on my phone, so I can use the concept and change it into the language that kind of fits for me a little bit better. Like Arlene said, you know, you got to sound like you, right? It's going to come off really not genuine if I just kind of, he's like, oh, I took it from so-and-so. You know, I think that's awesome about this community, that everybody is so willing to support each other and let them, you know, post things. So I will send, I'm driving, but once I stop in a chat right now that I've been saving in a file, is it better if I send it to you and then you can send it out?
Put it on Team Transformers Facebook whenever you can. Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
So Kelly Kerr doesn't have a Tower Garden. And we were just having a conversation. I'm like, you know, it doesn't matter. You can be honest, and you don't have to say you have a Tower Garden. You could just post about the Tower Garden. You say, I want one, or just do something about posting.
She wrote one day.
She wrote one day.
She didn't even say she doesn't have one. She just said one day, hashtag.
I love the way she said these Tower Gardens
are
so dope. That's so cute. And so she got a lot of comments and interest. Look at this. 71 whatever and 30 something. Anyway, so she's got people asking her about the Tower Garden. I mean, we all are able to sell all the products that the Juice Plus company has. I wish I could remember who was holding the capsules and the gummies. It was a new person, and I don't remember.
Well,
I think Carla might have posted it.
Carla? Okay. Or maybe
so.
Blanca? Maybe it was Blanca.
No, I don't think it was her sister. It was Carla.
Carla. Thank you, Kristen. We'll look at Carla.
I wanted to show
She's
this
doing a great job. Yeah, I love this from Arlene. This is
Arlene.
Awesome.
He does salad prep with a video and pictures.
Oh, and she added something a minute ago. Go ahead, Arlene.
Yeah, that post that Doug's talking about, I think I got, I don't know, like 80 comments on that. I mean, for a salad in a jar home prep by yourself, that was quite a lot.
Yeah.
What I was going to say earlier, and I don't know if this is considered stinking thinking, but we have to realize that health is not at the forefront of most people's mind until or unless someone near or dear to them gets ill, like really ill. A spouse, a child, or a parent, or a sibling. until then, no one cares about their health. They'll say, oh, $75 a month is too expensive for blah, blah, blah. But then they'll go out and they'll drop $75 on a meal. You know, so we have to remember that we want it more for them than they want it for themselves. But if we're consistent in living our true mission and who we are the lighthouse, and they know who to come back to when they need health advice.
Yep.
And so I think that's truly how it is for me. So I'm human. I do get caught up every now and then in the no's and, you know, the people not responding, and, you know, it hurts. And then I brush it off within the day or a few hours or whatever. It is what it is. And then I move on. But I know I'm still living, you know, true to who I am. And I have the saying that I have a clear conscience and I can go to bed at night without, you know, knowing that I've upset anyone, but I've lived true to who I am. So that's how I live out my life, and in Facebook, and condition my mind also. You know, I can only want it so much for them until, you know, XYZ happens to them, and fingers crossed XYZ doesn't happen for them, and they'll come to their health sense, you know, before that.
Yeah, and we have to yeah, we have to be authentic, because we're selling to our Facebook friends. They know the truth. Now, if we were just going to do trade show tables, we could be eating chicken wings all day long and posting about it, and they wouldn't know the difference. You know? But your percentage of success with cold market is always going to be lower than with your warm market, you know, without relationship. So here's Carla's. We were going to look at a post that she did, but I want to point out the first one. Look at her adding value about water. Has nothing to do with Juice Plus or Tower Garden, but she's becoming the lighthouse, not just for Juice Plus, but for health, healthy lifestyle.
Which is in line with our mission, inspiring healthy living. Company's mission.
That was an interesting, is this the post you're talking about?
No.
She didn't get much response, but that was pretty cool. Like Flintstones vitamins and water versus Juice Plus. I don't know where she gets this stuff.
And there are some groups, so you can ask your sponsor to be added to. There's a group for stories. There's Juice Plus reps, let's exchange information. We're a little hesitant sometimes to add people in there, but if it's something you can handle, then we can put you in there so you could see what other people are talking about. So that's not it either. I don't know. It was hands. It was the hand post.
It was Carla?
Yeah, I don't know if it was.
There it is.
It's not that. So, oh, look at there. Somebody else posted, it looks like. My first Juice Plus shipment arrived.
Oh.
So that's a good idea, too.
When you got customers tagging you?
Wow. I love that. Okay, so that must not have been her. I don't remember who it was. But it's always good if you've got, you know, the capsules and you're thankful and putting just one thankful post, you know, or maybe your family of 4 or 5 or whatever, everybody's got their hands out. All right, here we go. This is what we do. You know, this is how we take our fruits and vegetables every day. Yeah, can't remember who it was, but show them the Freedom Revolution, that there are samples on the Freedom Revolution also.
She can't do it because she's holding the dog.
Holding the dog. He can do it.
The baby.
Usually posts a lot of great posts.
Who does?
Michelle.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
So under resources, social media examples. I love what Lonnie said. She said we have to be authentic. I've learned that. I mean, I see you guys posting. I can see Lonnie or Michelle posts, and sometimes I'll just try to copy it. Crickets.
You want to post what you're excited about too. Like if Michelle's excited about the shake in that picture, she's going to post about it. She's happy she has the shake on her way to wherever she was going that day. You know, this other person's thankful that they have the capsules. Oh, birthday party. Yeah. There's so many things you could do. You know, I remember we made up a friends and family call because it was Michelle's birthday too. So she took advantage of the fact that it was her birthday in that post. So, you know, she's just adding excitement to her posts.
And she has over 2,000 friends, I'm sure. And she consistently shares about life, inspiration, health, occasionally some Juice Plus,
Events.
fitness, events, education. So when somebody is thinking, oh man, I got to get it together, I should talk to Michelle.
Can you show them how to do a watch party from last night's Vela event? So last night we had an event with Vela sharing her story. We put it publicly on Plant-Based Power on Facebook. And so you could talk about it on your wall, like one day, say, oh my gosh, just heard the most inspirational story. I'm going to go live with it with a watch party tonight at 7 or something. You could use any of the pictures, you know, of Vela. And so it doesn't have to be that everybody was on live last night. You can create your own event based on that. So any of these videos that are in Plant-Based Power, there's a Tower Garden one that was really popular. There's a Got Fruits and Veggies one from the past. Vela's event is here. Where's all the posts?
It's going to come. Is your computer always this slow?
I don't know. Keep going.
There it is.
Okay. So if we wanted to share this or have it go right now, I think we have to click it first, then hit share to do the watch party. So you would click the video.
Watch together with friends with a group.
Oh, okay.
Right here, start.
So that's probably going to go on my wall unless I change it. So if we wanted to do it right now, go ahead and do it into a group.
See, I can share on a timeline, I can share a group, or on a page you manage.
Right.
So share into a group.
Yeah, and we could put the group name Simple Changes. And so we would just share it into the group. So you could do it on your timeline or into a group, and then people who are in that group would then watch it, you know? And it's neat. They come on and they watch it for a little while, and then you can follow up. You want to kind of keep track of who came on, because people come on and then they leave sometimes.
I'm sorry, Sean, did I miss how to do it on your timeline? I heard you say you could do it on your timeline.
At the very top left.
There's a pull down menu. See that?
Sharing your timeline. But then you're going to share the whole thing right there? I thought you were inviting people to it.
No,
once
you
you're
would
doing
post,
it,
yeah, you can once
invite.
you.
Oh, okay.
It's going. I had about 30 people come on to my, I shared it on my timeline last night. It's a great event. I put diabetes and heart disease in the title. And if you know anybody that, you're concerned about, please share this with them. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do another watch party with the same exact video. It's that important.
It's not all Juice Plus or anything either. It's really like, hey, let's think about our health. Let's not just go through the day and watch the news. And I love some of the things she's like, don't just lay around and watch the news, you know? And she gives great advice just for families and stuff. So anyway, that's something you can do. You could share that on your wall. And I hope that helps you guys.
So remember, that's in the group called Plant-Based Power. That's the place where we will stream some things. Because if we put it in a group, you wouldn't be able to stream it on your wall if you want to, or share it wherever you want, or tag people, or whatever you want to do.
No, Lonnie says if you go to her Pilates Facebook page, her last post was good. So that's Pilates Play Space.
Pilates Play Space.
Oh, and she keeps a note, or Sandy keeps a note called Future Posts, where she sees things on Facebook that she likes and keeps future posts. So the other thing you guys can do is take a screenshot and put it into Team Transformers so that you have it there, good post. When you see somebody's got a lot of traffic on a good post, and then you'll know even to go back to find it in there. That could be an idea to share with the whole team and to find it again.
Well, and don't forget, we want to think as business leaders, not just as retailers. So when you have an idea for a post, that's great. But if you put it into Team Transformers, then you can tag your team on it and they can have the idea for that post too. Like you have to always be thinking, how can I get my team doing things? How can I lead my team to the right activity, All right, Darby's got to take off. We're all going to take off.
Right.
It's 1:05.
If Sandy wants to stay on, I can help you put in orders.
Woo woo.
Yeah, actually, I was gonna say I have another call I have to make. So I was wondering, I just know I have to, like I said, put the email because I had a different email. So I need to get the email and get my back office started up. Once I get all that, then I'll be ready to contact you. And like I said, I kind of wanted to, like you had said, within the first 10 days, I've got 2 or 3 orders that I wanted to kind of put on paper so that I knew that I had that to do the first order. So I kind of want to be prepared before I just set up today and then 10 days goes past.
Yes.
So that's what I was thinking. So I know you guys want to probably run. We can definitely catch up later to do that.
Find me on Facebook.
Yeah.
Sharon Farrar.
Okay, I will do that, and then I will contact you. Thanks so much.
Guys.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thanks, Arlene.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
you're
you.
welcome.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Great stuff.
Awesome. Kristen, are you in all kinds of